welcome back to my channel. So still, this is Sir Glee React. So I do honest reaction videos on your favorite artists, performers, or any videos that you want me to react to. So for this video, I will be dedicating to this one to my Indian friends, to my Indian subscribers, supporters. So yeah, I've been reacting for Indian artists for many times, and I think it would be better for me to not just react to the artists of India, but also know more knowledges to educate myself more about India. So I am very excited because I've heard a lot from India, how warm the people are, how nature is very beautiful, the tradition, the culture. So of course I will not be settling for that information. I want more information for India because I've been so interested to this country. That's why for this video, I will be reacting to 11 proofs India is not like any other country. So we will be seeing the distinctiveness, what India can offer to the world that the world cannot offer to India or to anyone else. So I'm very excited for this one. Before we start our reaction video, if you're not yet part of this family, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell for more and more reaction videos. And also, please give this video a thumbs up. So without further ado, let's start this reaction. In 3, 2, 1, play.
Hey everybody, simple question for you. Who doesn't love travel? Well, I sure do, and I've been to a lot of different countries. But there's one that will stick with me forever, India. Like I said, I'm pretty well traveled. I like to go abroad at least once a year, so I've got a lot of trips under my belt. But when a friend told me that I just have to see India, well, that's exactly what I did. I went in September, the last month of the summer monsoon. It was pretty dry and sunny, but with short rains here and there. The perfect weather for a traveler, if you ask me. Being the confident and well-experienced globetrotter that I am, I went there prepared, and I thought I was ready for anything. Boy, was I wrong. The colors, the contrasts, the pace, the people.
You know what? India can really offer so much.
And didn't let
They
go
have so
even when I
much
was
things to
already back
offer.
home. As soon as I stepped out of the airport, I felt dizzy. It could have been the heat, the jet lag, or the hunger in my belly.
Of course, the jet lag.
So I decided to head out for some authentic Indian food
And
as
hunger,
soon
of
as I
course.
throw my bags in my hotel room. Now, the food there deserves a big shout out. First of all, Indians eat very little meat. In fact,
Wow.
they have the lowest meat consumption per person in the world. Most of their dishes are vegetarian, and meat is replaced with soy meat. This is mostly because 80% of the population is Hindu. Probably like you, I'd always heard that Hinduism requires a strictly vegetarian diet, but that's not the case. It's just because they believe not eating meat.
Okay, so now I will be loving India more. Why? Because I am a vegetarian. I do eat meat. I do eat pork, beef, chicken, but most of the time I really prefer to eat vegetables. So that's really great to see or to hear that India is really one of those country who really love vegetables. So I'm loving India so much.
Believe not eating meat minimizes the hurt they bring to other living beings. That's definitely one of the things I learned during my travels, and I was pleasantly surprised. Another thing about food in India is that it's all heavily spiced. That comes as no surprise, really, since India is well known across the world as the biggest spice producer and exporter. But there's one region that stands out exclusively in this regard, the state of Kashmir. It's home to the most valuable spice ever, saffron. Sure, this flower isn't unique to India. It also grows in Iran and Spain. Kashmir, however, produces the highest quality and the most expensive saffron in the world. The town of Pampore is literally built around saffron fields. There are actually 3 varieties cultivated there. There's Mongra, the most expensive one, that costs about $1,600 a pound.
Wow.
Then you've got Lacha, which, interesting enough, is less pricey at $1,000 per pound. Yet saffron
$1,000.
farmers say it's the purest. And finally, there's Zarda. It's the cheapest, but only compared to other varieties, because $250 a pound isn't exactly what I call cheap. Anyway, India's spice game is definitely on point. So I found a good place to eat, and as soon as I saw the menu, I remembered that Indian is also famous for its large variety of teas, or as the locals
I
call
love
it, chai.
these. I
You should
really
see
love.
the sheer number of options. I never thought there could be that many types of tea. If you're a tea drinker, I'm sure you know Darjeeling and Assam. But have you ever heard of Karnataka or Kangra? Does Munnar ring a bell? I don't blame
I've never
you.
heard
I
of
had
this.
no idea that these kinds exist either, and those are just the tea-producing regions. There's even more once you get into the types of chai by adding particular spices and herbs. Take, for example, masala chai, which is made with cinnamon, ginger, cloves, and herbs. I personally
Wow, that's
fell
a
in
lot
love
of
with butter tea.
spices.
It's so thick and creamy. I could drink it by the gallon. Basically, you take tea leaves, some butter, hot water, and salt.
Yes.
Mix it all up and thank me later.
I will try to do that one.
With a full belly and plenty of chai pumping through my veins, I was ready for some sightseeing. I landed in New
New
Delhi,
Delhi.
so I spent the rest of the day walking
I
around
think this
and
one's the
taking in all
capital
the
of India.
sights. Whenever I go abroad, I like to carry a little phrase book in the local language. Well, if you ever find yourself in India, you're gonna need a really big book because there are actually 22 officially recognized languages
Whew,
there.
that's a
English
lot
is
of
among them,
languages.
so I was okay just sticking to that. But those 22 official languages are just a drop in the huge linguistic ocean of the country. By different accounts, there are from 122 to 300 major languages spoken.
Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, also India is one of the six countries, or I think they're number two or number three country who speaks English very well, aside from the Philippines also. So it's really convenient. It's really easy to communicate to those Indian people because they really speak good English.
India, as well as up to 1,600 lesser-known ones. Basically, if you travel from one town to another, you'll hear people talking a different language. And if you happen to go to another state, you can forget everything you might have learned in your previous location. How they manage to communicate with each other is still beyond me. New Delhi was awesome. I wish I could talk more about it, but I had a lot to see. I did find time to take a train up to Amritsar and see the Golden Temple. How do I even begin to describe it? The whole thing is covered in gold and sits in the middle of a huge pool of water. This is where the tradition of langar takes place. Langar is a vegetarian meal that's given to any and everyone who comes to the temple, regardless
You see,
of
they
their
really love
background or
veggies,
beliefs.
and I
Just
love
imagine,
veggies.
the Golden Temple provides a free meal to over 50,000 people a day.
Wow.
And on special occasions, it can feed up to 200,000. I
Wow,
got a free meal too,
nice.
and it was really delicious. You can volunteer
For
there
a
as well.
free
I
meal.
did just that because I was in so much awe about the place, I didn't want to leave. What I actually regret is that I didn't get to see the Kumbh Mela in action. It's one of the greatest celebrations of India, and apparently it's a sight to behold. In 2011, so many pilgrims gathered in one place that the whole congregation of 75 million people was even
That's a
visible
lot.
from space. This year, it's taking place from January until early March, so if you've seen it with your own eyes, just know that I'm so jealous. In fact,
Wow.
whatever India does, it does it on a huge scale. For example, it has the largest number of post offices in the world. Wherever you go, you'll stumble
Wow.
upon one
They love
literally
writing
on
letters.
every corner. The irony of this is that it doesn't really help the situation with delivery times. One Indian guy told me it's totally normal to wait for your package to be delivered in 2 weeks' time, even if it was sent from a nearby town. But hey, patience is a virtue. But it doesn't stop there. India places third in terms of the number of Guinness World Record holders. The world's fastest nose typer, the most expensive wedding ever held, and the most selfies taken together are just a few of the bizarre world records held in this country. What else?
I'm educating
The
you.
largest railroad
I was being
network in
educated
the
so
world.
much.
Check? Well, almost, since the United States does technically have more. But anyway, India has built over 3.5 million miles of railroads, which, considering the smaller size of the country, still means easier transit within and between different locations. With that in mind, it shouldn't really be a huge surprise that Indian Railways is also the largest employer in the world. It has over
Wow.
a million employees.
That was
And
nice.
considering the country's extensive railway network, these people are scattered throughout India, from the smallest villages to the biggest cities. The number of jobs grows every
At least
year.
they're taking care of
So
the
it
people.
looks like you could always
They're
get a
giving
job there
employment to the
if you're
people.
looking for employment in India. Anyway, what can I say about my final impressions? I was blown away, and I seriously didn't want to leave this fascinating place. Visiting it was like going to a whole new world for me.
Whole new
I
world.
tried
Can
to
you
get
see the
as many
nature of India?
souvenirs as I could.
That was
And I
really
almost
nice.
forgot one important thing. If you ever go there, by the way, you'd better remember it too. No one is allowed to take India's national currency in or out of the country.
That's
It's actually
Mahatma
against
Gandhi,
the
if
law,
I'm not
so make
mistaken.
sure you change your money before you cross the border. I almost made this mistake, but a friendly local told me to exchange my rupees at the airport, and off I went, headed back home with my suitcase full of exotic stuff and my head pulsing with impressions.
Bonus. This is by Indian. Wow!
Can you tell me anything else about India that I
India
missed?
invented the
I'm
US.
definitely going to go back, so leave me some recommendations
Nice.
down in the comments too. And if you enjoyed hearing my story, then give this video a like, share it with your friends, and hit the subscribe button to join me on the bright side of life.
Okay, it's done. Wow, now I can say that I love India more. You know what? India is just like somehow it it's like Philippines. You know like on the language, if I'm not mistaken, that they are one of the countries who really do speak English, like the Philippines, and also the preserved culture of India. You can really see the culture, the tradition of India is being preserved in their country, like also here in the Philippines, and it's really nice to see those things, those knowledges that is being bared on my mind. I was not really expecting some of the information, and yeah, I did not expect that India is really such a vegetarian country. So I love India more. And also, you know what? Aside from the food, aside from the nature, aside from their intellectual capacity, what I love more about India is the people, the Indian people. They are so warm. Actually, I can prove that here in this channel because lots of you are really commenting so much. So you're all of you who's commenting in on the comment section is really saying good words, really appreciating all the things, even though I am not an Indian like yours. The appreciation is there. You really is a kind individual. You really are good people, and you know what? I cannot wait to go to India in the future, or sooner or later, to go to India and explore more things about India, because it would be better for me to really experience India rather than just watching about India, watching different videos about India. One day in my life, I will be going to India and explore and experience the life of India. So, this one is a great video. So, I hope that I would be seeing more videos about this, about India, about other things regarding India. So, that's our reaction if you like that one. And I really do love it. Kindly give me a thumbs up, and also if you're not yet part of this family, just subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell for more and more and more reaction videos. So see you on the next video. Bye!